Okay, good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening on your screens globally. This is Mark. Heiko, I need a little signal, whether you want to do a short intro or not. If not, I just continue. This is our first webinar on 5G revolution in digital health. There is a specific reason why we're doing this. Can I have the next chart, please? So, warm welcome again. Why do we doing this morning or this afternoon in Bangkok? There is a specific reason. We are inaugurating together the two partners, EJ Krause and BNU Asia Pacific, a specific conference and exhibition on the topic of 5G and how it impacts this whole era of IoT. We call this event Beyond Mobile, and it will happen next year, March 16 to 17 in Bangkok in Samyanmay Town Hall. And as this is a new event, and we have a fantastic topic which impacts lots of industries, lots of verticals, we thought we building a road to this event. So next chart, please. The road to this event will start today. So you are kind of inaugurating with us on a very specific topic. We come to this later. But what you can see here on the chart is that the actual conference and exhibition will happen in March next year, as I said earlier. And what we thought is that we build the momentum in a series of webinars and also physical Monday evening events from now on until next year. And so bear with us, expect some news on other webinar topics. Today's topic, as I said earlier, is digital health. Next chart, please. And so what you can expect in the next 1 hour is that we deep dive into the topic of 5G in digital health. Why are we doing this? Because we thought there are like 4 to 5 sectors which are heavily impacted by the rollout of 5G, not just in Thailand, but also in Southeast Asia, in the whole of Asia, and of course, globally. And digital health is one of the core topics which will benefit from 5G revolution. And today we will have 3 speeches, short insights, 10 minutes sharp, on effects of 5G in digital health. We are covering the aging society, we are covering precision medicine and telemedicine. And after my fellow speakers have been on stage, we will go into a panel discussion on 5G revolution in digital health. But before we do this, I would like to welcome an agency on board, which is superimposed to really help this 5G revolution, not just in Thailand, which is the Digital Technology and Innovation Development, or the Digital Economy Promotion Agency, DEPA. And please welcome for a warm welcome speech for the next 3 minutes, Dr. Supakorn Sidichai. He is Executive Vice President of DEPA, and he has something in mind in terms of 5G revolution in Thailand and Southeast Asia. So Supakorn, words is on you. So please tell us why it's so important that we roll out this 5G conference in Thailand.
Okay, thanks for the introduction, Mark. Good morning to the audience in Europe, and good afternoon to those in Asia. Warm welcome to Beyond Mobile webinar. I'd like to share with you 2 topics: status of digital economy development in Thailand, and an update on the 5G rollout. The Digital Development for Economy and Society Act was given to the Thai people on 23rd January 2017, the same day as the establishment of DEPA, where I work. The Act was given to promote the development of digital infrastructure and applications of digital technology to drive economy and to serve the society. DEPA, as the promoter of digital economy, is tasked to promote the development of digital industry as well as digital innovation, and to promote the development of and applications of digital technology in various sectors, including economy, society, culture, and security. With this huge task, DEPA focuses on digital manpower, digital startups, policies related to digital economy, and digital innovation. This brings us to 5G initiative and its current status, including deployment, use cases, and expected impact. Thailand became the first country in ASEAN to license out 5G frequencies when 5G service permit bidding was held in February last year for 700 MHz, 2.6 and 26 GHz bands. Since then, the mobile operators in Thailand have been rolling out the 5G commercial service, and it is currently available in all major cities in Thailand. The government has also set up a 5G steering committee to promote a level playing field for the operators who are looking to provide services in various sectors, including manufacturing, agriculture, healthcare, logistics, and smart city. DEPA is also taking part in promoting 5G awareness by setting up a 5G ecosystem innovation center together with Huawei at our head office in Bangkok. This center is open to the public with advanced booking and is showcasing various 5G applications, as well as offering trainings and testing facilities with sandbox permit. The 5G market size is expected to be worth more than 300 billion baht, or approximately $10 billion by 2030. I will leave it there and look forward to the open discussion later in the program. I also look forward to meeting everyone in person in March next year. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you very much, Supakorn. So I'm really jealous, so to say, because we in Germany, we're lacking this kind of government initiative. I would be really happy to have a digital economy kind of initiative as you have in Thailand. Thank you very much. So you set the scene for our topic here today. Let me welcome on stage now Dr. Kitty. Dr. Kitty is Head of Health Innovation and Information Research Team at the National Science and Technology Development Agency. He is deep into technology for elderly people, so to say, assistive technology. And in the next 10 minutes, he will deep dive into this topic of aging society and how this will benefit from the 5G rollout. Dr. Kitty, over to you.
Hi, thank you, Mark. So hello, everybody. So the topic I will talk about today is the digital health innovations for the aging society. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So the key point I'm going to present here, and the 2 points. One is aging society, aging population, especially everywhere in the world is face the same challenges, and also the another part is how digital health innovations with the 5G can help with the older people. Next slide, please. So this is a global trend. So you can see that aging population is growing in all the most of the country. Now in Thailand, we already reached 20% age populations already, and growing and growing. That is the part is all the country that have to address. This is the key point. We need to solve the problem in the future. Next slide, please. So this is when we talk about the aging populations, we look into the senior. We have the 3 groups of the senior, like one independent senior, partially dependent senior, and the fully dependent senior. But the major part is independent senior. So this part we would like to have extend this group as long as we can, using the digital technology or the technology to extend it, and also help the other 2 groups to have the really good health, they have a healthy aging. Next slide, please. So they have when we talk about the innovation, we look into what is the factor it will influence the healthy aging, like an individual part or also development part. We talk about the behavior, the related change for the age, disease, housing, transportation, this kind of thing. This we take a look into what kind of technology we're going to use it here. Next slide, please. So the 5G is an infrastructure very important to support all the healthy aging. So we're going to talk about the 5G now. Okay, let's next slide, please. So we have the three features. Actually, the 5G have so many features. Three key features. We're going to use this one. Is to talk about this one is one is extreme mobile broadband. It's a very high speed on the 5G. The second one is ultra reliable, very low latency. The last one is high density connectivity. The next slide, please. So all of three, we create a lot of application already now. It's already have the application enable some kind of the very large, can transfer the very large image like X-ray or some kind of CT scanning, or even we go to the very high definitions video. We go to the like a VR, AR. We use this kind of infrastructure on the 5G. In terms of reliability, low latency, like we use some kind of remote surgery. We need a very high accuracy, high reliability, and also low latency. Like also emergency medicine, telemedicine is definitely. In terms of the high density, we talk about the IoT. In here, I could talk about the IoMT, in Internet of Medical Things. So they involved with a lot of sensor, like the sensor measure or the blood pressure, or the fall detections, or even the location. Next slide, please. Okay, when you talk about innovation, we're thinking about the key application to two areas. One is a care area, another one is a prevention and predictions. The care area have a different level, like a hospital care, intermediate care, also the long-term care, go to the nursing home, community care, or the home care. In terms of the prevention, this is for individual. So we need to have some activity to provide prevent from the disease or prevent from the some incidents. And right now we're going to have a lot of data from the sensor. We're going to have some kind of predictions, health prediction using the AI. Next slide, please. Okay, this is a use case that I'm going to talk about. This use case is going to happen in Thailand. So we're going to see the word they call tele. So we can have the telemedicine, telecare, telehealth, telemonitor, telerehabilitations, teledentistry. All the things called start with the tele. It means that we need the telecommunication. That is the 5G will be the key important of this kind of application. In Thailand, we have in Emmet, in Nasta, I have some project in some rural area, not just a regular rural area. You go to like some border, marginalized area. It's some border really difficult to reach. And we also provide that kind of telemedicine in that area. It's very challenging. And also another one, like some vital sign monitor. We use some machine monitor vital sign, like oxygen level of the blood, oxygen level. We use in the COVID field hospital now. We use this kind of thing because we need to monitor patients, and the doctor have to do in different places. Next slide, please. Okay, and another one is for the tele monitoring, like a NCD. The NCD, this is a key important because most of the disease now, and about in Thailand about 70%, more than 70% come from the NCD. NCD like hypertension, diabetes, this kind of thing. They need to prevent some kind of prevent. So they need to have some kind of machine to device to monitor the vital signs, and the doctor and the patient can see and have the awareness on the disease. Also, they have the kind of tele-rehabilitation. Next slide, please. Okay, we also have some project involved to the emergency medicine. So we had a big project called the Digital 1669 or Digital EMS. This is ongoing. This is a big project. We have so many partners to work together. We try to build a system that send information from the ambulance, like a vital sign from the ambulance, the camera for the ambulance, sent to the doctor, ER doctor or medical doctor to have the decisions and create. They have some kind of pre-hospital care. That they can have some kind of medical order. The actions happens in the ambulance right away, and so because they have enough information. So this is an ongoing project we're doing in Thailand. Next slide, please. So another one is my friend in Sirat Hospital also using called the mobile CT scan, using in the car and in the truck, and I have to go to some place and keep the diagnosis very quickly and take the action. But this kind of thing, the need 5G is the must, because the upload a lot of the big chunks of the data of the CT scan, and the expert from the hospital can make a decision what to do and how to send this patient to the hospital and do some intervention. This is the one is ongoing, the project already. Next slide, please. Another one is in my team, my colleague using some sensor. This is in terms of the prevention and predictions, like fall prevention, fall detection. That is a high accuracy. The fall preventions, they can detect all activity when you wake up, when you walk, when you sleep, on the size, and the sensor can tell you everything. This one can provide apply to the fall prevention system. Another part is about another team working on some kind of location tracking for the dementia people, because they lost the way. They need to find the locations. We have to put some sensor to them. Really tricky. We have to, because they don't want to wear anything. Okay, we have to wear into the some watch chip, something, or in the shoe. So that is kind of tricking to make them do it. But we can monitor them to where is the location, so they can prevent the loss or something. Next slide, please. Also, there's some senior home. So they have some project. You do some health volunteer, health officer have to go to not stay in the hospital all the time. You have to move proactive to go to the community, to go to the visit at the senior home in that community. When we go to senior home, we provide some platform, some software platform, so they can do the health checking. We have the portable checking, and everything we upload to the cloud, and they can keep track all the health data and all the senior in that community. This ongoing, the project is already worked about 4 or 5 years now already. Next slide, please. So all things we talk about here. So we come up with some cities, some small smart friendly city. It's like a smart health, smart mobilities, food edge, or smart home, smart communication, or smart citizen. All of these we combine together. I think so. The 5G is it's a very good, very important infrastructure to enable this kind of technology. Next slide, please. The last one. So we talk about the aging society is now. It's here now. So we need some kind of technology to improve the health of this senior. And 5G is the one to realize that the technology. This is also create the business opportunity. It's a new S curve. That's it for me now. For now. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kitty. Awesome. Very strong use cases. Bunch of examples. We got already some very good feedback in the chat. So people on the screens, use the chat, use the Q&A session. We can also pick up your questions later in the panel. Kitty, when I learned something now is for 5G, we need an operator or a carrier.
Yeah, yeah, right, definitely.
Quite obvious. So I'm lucky that we have one here. Mr. Prapat, next on stage.
Okay.
Kitty, we take questions later, yeah? So we just go through our program and then we talk openly afterwards. So Mr. Prapat, he is the president and CEO of Planet Communications Asia. He co-founded this company 25 years ago, and he's a deep tech guy. I think this Planet Comms now not only went into cloud and fiber, it's a whole 360 degrees carrier, digital technology solution provider. And Mr. Prapat has an interesting case on telemedicine, but he certainly also will probably talk a little bit about 5G and the technology. Prapat, your stage.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to join with this conference. I also like to share my experience for 5G that used in Thailand. For Thailand, we have 5G for public, I think by many carriers. Something like AS through DTAC, but what I'm gonna talk about is we have a project in EEC, Eastern Economic Corridor, which they want to do a 5G for smart city. So I like to share that when they use for smart city is can use for other applications like smart health, some on smart industry. Okay, next slide, please. In Thailand, for Eastern Economic Corridor, we have 3 provinces, and the government promote to be the area with very high-tech area for investment, for factory, for health, for everything in here. So this everything government push or effort to invest in network, facility, everything for investor or people who live in here to make a model for prototype for Thailand for near future that they want to expand to all Thailand. Next slide, please. So on March 12 this year, EEC that announced this EEC will be prototype for the first 5G for smart city in Thailand, which unfortunately I have a chance to join. And on the part of that, they use the partner like National Telecommunication NT, which is the provider, and they get license for 26 gigahertz for milliwave 5G. And we also work with them to do a trial on the smart city, and we put on the 5G network into the about 5 pole, smart pole over into Ban Chang area. And then we can claim that this is the first trial for use 5G for smart city in Thailand. Next slide, please. So you can see that the area that in Gulf of Thai Gulf, we have the area on the way that they plan to deploy all 5G in about four area. And I sorry that's in Thai, but in part that we do a trial is called Ban Chang, which is on the number 3 of this, and we already implement this and show to government, show to people. Unfortunately, this is on a trial, and now we on the way to do the whole area, about 159 pole over this area. Next slide, please. As benefit of this, they do on smart city, but I like to touch on how they use 5G in this network. For network infrastructure, this one, they put the pole over in this area on 5 sides, and also that they want to use this in the hospital they call Somdet Phanang Chao Sirikit, the Queen Sirikit Hospital. It's in Rayong, and use 5G trial already to connect inside the hospital to use for healthcare solution, teleconsult, use for internal use exercise this already. And also this 5G, they use 25 gig, and you can see that it's real network that trial now. And also they plan to, we try to implement a co-band 23 gig, 2.3 gig for TDD, memo for 4G on the ambulance. And now it's on the trial that we try to utilize the bandwidth and the application over 5G network and 4G network. And you can see that they have a network around here. So next slide, please. And also you can see that for this part, they have an inbound and outbound part. And for inbound, they have a hospital information system that use 5G internally. And we use link to PSR record to keep in that, and pass that to PSR platform, go to web portal, a doctor station, and we have mobile kit that telemedicine kit, and also we have mobile app for people to use it. So we put all the system together and make it a trial, and now we see the result that how good they are, and still keep working on, and now try to put more station and see the result. Next slide, please. And you can see that device that maybe you can see on my backside too, that we do on integrate all device, virtual side or camera for check up, for blood pressure, everything is all digital. So you can see stethoscope that is very small and it's wireless. it's wireless and also it's IP. So the doctor can hear a heart or lung over internet to another side. So this device is called Telemed kit. Connect to the doctor that maybe stay in the hospital, that they use a computer, mobile, or whatever, maybe video conference. So we have all complete set with this, with our camera, equipment, or virtual side equipment, check up everything, and doctor can see real patient, and also they can ask question to the patient, and the patient can talk with the doctor. And this is portable, so we can go anywhere. Next slide, please. So that's all that I have here. And if you like to have more information for anything about this project, I'm okay. I'm willing to give you for that information you request. Thank you.
Yes, we deep dive into this topic later on. Papa, very, very much thank you. Great example. Also, it seems like a good timing for the Beyond Mobile conference and exhibition in Thailand, as you're doing your first pilots, as you mentioned. Excellent. We also counting some Q&As. We will talk about this later. So final speech for today. Next on stage is Dr. Pongsatorn. Pongsatorn is covering the topic of precision medicine. He's managing director at and biomedical engineer at Perfect Research Solutions. And he will deep dive now into this aspect of how precision medicine and big data and also somehow AI is benefiting from 5G. Pongsatorn, your stage, final speech, and then we go into the panel discussion.
Hello everyone. Thank you, Mark, for introducing. Let me share my slides. Okay. So my name is Pongsatorn. I am a member of Thai Health Tech Trades Association, and I would like to show you about how 5G network can help us in real-time data for precision medicine and healthcare, especially in Thai industry right now. So before we start, I would like to show you this number. This is the comparison of the speed and how the data can be transferred compared. The number of this big leap technology is around 100 times of data and the speed that can be transferred. So when we take a closer look at the benefits of 5G network, we usually focus on the speed and how large data set can be transferred over the cellular network. And some of you may think only about the genome data or DNA sequencing, but actually it's not. It's about any data that has a high resolution. For example, it could be an image. I would like to show you another case. For example, in Thailand right now, we have a big pandemic of COVID-19, and lots of X-ray film has been sent to the doctor. At the first time, doctor can be able to analyze all those film, but over time, over a period, the doctor may get exhausted, or sometimes the image is not clear and get confused. So the doctor cannot make the right decision. So in Thailand right now, we have a helper or the assistant. We use AI on the cloud. So we send all the image up to the cloud and we train our AI to analyze those data. For example, in Thailand right now, we have a company called Inspectra that can analyze the information that happened in the lung. So it can help the doctor to analyze and diagnose more accurately and faster. So the benefits of this network can help healthcare professionals to work more efficiently and reduce the workload. And more importantly, especially in Thailand, we need to increase more human touch, especially when patients want to go to see the doctor and want to spend more time to discuss about the symptom and disease that they have. And it also helps the doctor to get more accurate diagnosed result. The next topic that I would like to share is how can we use the 5G network for in-house medical diagnostic tool and monitoring devices? And how can we integrate into our daily life? So some of you may have seen these tools and medical tools before. Some of you may already have this. So right now, Thai people start to adopting this technology by using a newer version of medical tools that can transfer all the result from home and send it to the hospital by using 5G network or Wi-Fi network. And this is another example that's getting popular in Thailand. A mirror that can help you exercise correctly, correct your posture. You can share the result with your coach and your friends. Another device that I would like to show you is a posture correction tool. This will help you sit correctly, ergonomically, while you work from home during this crisis. Another popular device that Thai people already have is heart rate monitoring and vital sign. So when we think about 5G in healthcare, we're not only thinking about the precision. Sometimes we think about how can be more preventive, more autonomous in healthcare system. Let me show you. So when we think about 5G network in real life, we usually integrate, make it more useful. So when we think about the integration between Wi-Fi 6 and 5G for outdoor users, we can send more data and integrate all the results from many appliances through the cloud. So the AI will have more data to be trained and get a better result. Before we go further, I would like to show you these slides. This slide is a company in Thailand that developed a health tech industry and also the health tech services that use 5G network. We have around 50 companies in our association right now. And I would like to tell you some of them. For example, during this pandemic crisis, some hospitals prefer to use the tele monitoring or telemedicine to consult between doctors and patients to monitor the symptom of the patients remotely. Another application that we already use called pharmacy. It can help the patient to detect which drug interact with a new drug that the doctor may send it to you at home. So it's like a preventive application by taking the picture from your cell phone, and the AI will recognize the types of the medicine and your medical record as well. Another application that we are developing right now is we try to integrate all the current device that we already have in the house. For example, CCTV camera or smart speaker or some electronic nose for allergy people. We would like to integrate all of that. And especially in Thailand, we have another new product called WeLa. This is the foundation product because it sequences your DNA and customize the food based on your DNA result, because this product works with the local and make a commitment to design a new food that match with your DNA. And this product is also currently developing a new approach to tell you which food you should eat and which food you should not eat, and how much calorie you should take, and what did you take from your last meal by looking at the table on your dining table. When you look at on your left side on the picture, you will see that this is a typical setting of your dining table. We have the ceiling lamp on top of the dining table. So this company is developing a camera that integrates into the light bulb over the dining table. So it can detect which food you eat and how much calorie did you take and which food did you should not eat, but you already eaten. And then it will warn you through smart speaker or your smartwatch. So basically, this technology using image processing. So it sends 4K or 8K picture up to the cloud, and AI will analyze the food that you're currently eating. And in the future, we also looking for a smart glass that can tell you everything while you're doing activities in your daily life. So the next trend of the future with 5G network and precision healthcare, it should be instantaneously and automatically. You don't have to take the picture of the food anymore. You just walk around, the camera will detect everything for you, and it will be more accurate for remote diagnosis. And it should be automatic warning, detection, and data input to your system. And it should be more preventive healthcare scheme environment. So that's it for my presentation. If you have any questions, we have a panel discussion after this. Feel free to do that. We are willing to help you answer all the questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have lots of questions. Can you put yourself on mute quickly? Okay. Yeah, we have some Q&A, F&A, whatever you call it. Let me sort this. Now we start our panel discussion, but we open this to the audience, as you know, as promised. Whoever wants to ask a question, please put it into the Q&A box, not into the chat box. Yeah? Of course, you can still use the chat box for saying great talk, whatever. But if you have a dedicated question to anybody of this group, please put it into the Q&A. So welcome on stage again. Everybody's still there, which is good. Yeah, I see Kitty, I see Pongstorm, Poppert, Supercorn. Perfect. Maybe let me, before we start, let me again say why we call it this event Beyond Mobile. Because of course you can ask yourself, hey, we are still on a smartphone. Yeah. So when we designed this event almost half a year ago, we took that phenomenon that 5G actually is the first network which is not built anymore for people but for machines. And everybody of the speakers really perfectly well showed examples for that. What we mean with that is, of course, we still talk and communicate and act with our smartphone. And in 5 years, smartphone will still be a smartphone, as the word says, smartphone. How it looks like, okay, we have lots of ideas. But 5G, the revolution of 5G really is that this bunch of IoT sensors get high connectivity all around this planet. And you show perfectly well examples in Thailand. And I'm sure our listeners here on the screens, and many people are outside of Asia, even joining, have similar examples in all of their nations, ongoing pilots and so on. Rollout of 5G devices as well as 5G networks is ongoing. And this is why we're doing this conference and exhibition, and this is why we call it Beyond Mobile. We do not go beyond smartphone, but we look into a new architecture of wireless networks. Okay, so let's. Of course, I prepared some questions, but in the case that we only have 20 more minutes, let's first, if you agree, gentlemen, let's first try to answer the questions we already have. Monica asked this: how does Thailand, and this is probably a question, Supercorn, you can try to answer. How does Thailand aim to increase access to telemedicine or whatever 5G digital health things, even to low-income community groups? And of course, everybody else who has a meaning can jump in, but Supercore, maybe you have your view on this one.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Well, at the moment, so far Thailand has already connected, low-income communities. Well, what I mean by low-income communities, well, I suppose this low-income community could mean
rural
areas and
exactly.
marginalized areas. And
Yeah.
I think, Kitty can tell you about that much more, because I know that he worked on project to connect rural areas to the high-speed network, in the past few years. But what I can say is that also the government has implemented this project called like one municipality, then one connection. So basically, the government has connected all the villages, in the rural areas to the. Well, I think they guarantee, I don't know how many megabits per second connection, but that's already happened. I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, and it's still going on. Yeah.
Okay. What I can see, and Kitty, you can of course add, what I can see so far from 5G devices as well as tariff plans, operators really shy away from taking a plus just for supplying 5G. So price plans and device prices, and so of course there is some increase in device itself, but as soon as we get a kind of critical mass, low-income people will have the same benefits to the same price points as they have with 4G. This is what I'm observing. Kitty, would you like to add something?
I think the technology is go very quickly. The price is really go down really also really quickly. Once we have the mass deployment of the 5G, I think the device will go down, the prices go down. I think the question is very important, because we don't want to leave anybody behind. So that's why we provide the healthcare service telemedicine to the marginalized area, and especially the border. Some story I would say, okay, first when we do the project, we try to ask some operator to provide coverage in that area. Nobody want to go there. And we one company, okay, let's try it. Let's try go there. And when they start to do it, and they have finally they get the benefit, because a lot of people is there.
Absolutely.
A lot of people they surprised, really surprised. That right now they ask more. They ask for more.
And of course, I think the promise of 5G and the frequency of 5G is also to go long distance into rural areas with high density. Yeah? So there's a bunch of questions concerning security, data privacy, how to send health data over insecure networks like the internet. Oxaton, I don't know, is anybody willing to jump onto this, or do we say, hey, that's a too technical thing, we skip for next one? Or is somebody willing to talk about data security and sending data over 5G networks?
And when they talk internal security, actually they have so many layers of the security that even in the wireless layer, like a 5G is already there. Some level of security. Some application they have the different layer of the security. I think when we do especially when we send all the data from the health data, all data is encrypted. I think is well protected and the well designed, and in terms of the security, I think it should not have problem if we have the really carefully design the security layer in each one of them. Okay.
Anybody else want to add, or?
Yes, maybe add something. I think now, like a telemedicine health service just start in Thailand. I feel that now we have the new law in Thailand called PDPA, personal for privacy of people. So I think all systems have to decide to do what they call consent and data protection. And healthcare information is most important, really sensitive data. So anything we do, we're very careful before we deploy to all. We have to make sure that one. And data cybersecurity have to decide first base before we deploy to public. So what the system we do is we concern with first that when we do it, we have to make it first. Thank you.
There is a question pop out which goes into another direction. It looks more into the future. So one question is, does your Telemed mobile kit also connect some days to any kind of form of AI?
Not yet. Maybe it's good time that we talk with Dr. Pongsakorn,
Exactly.
Dr. Kitty. So it's good time we can join together. Because for my part, I come from hardware part.
Did
so
you,
Pongsakorn, join together?
Pongsakorn, did you saw anything like this, like telemedicine devices connecting to AI already?
Not really. Not really.
Right, and Pongsakorn?
Yes, I would love to work with you and to increase how AI interact with our daily life, because I still believe that the benefits of the AI is still outweighed the disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay. There is still concern that, okay, 5G, and of course, in the beginning of a new network rollout, we always have this, brings lots of benefits, but on the other side, there is also some threat. So maybe in a city like Bangkok, we have increased coverage of antennas, and people are fearing that there's something overlaying them and they can feel it or touch it or smell it. Anything you would like to say to this kind of thing, the threat of wireless communications? Does it increase through 5G, or is it the same kind of level like we already have? Longstorm, or?
Yes, actually, I did some research about this around 5 months ago. There's a customer asking me about this, and I did some research and tell him that actually it is about the power of the energy that coming out from the antenna. So basically, if the internet providers still follow that rules to limit the safe power that emitted from the antenna, it still be safe for everyone. I believe that.
Maybe in this context, we just need to reinforce this really revolution which is happening. I think Kitty showed this perfectly well in his charts. I think Prabhat as well. Again, 5G is more built for machines, and latency goes down to less than 10 milliseconds. So this really is for real-time applications. The bandwidth is almost up to 20 gigabyte per second, which is unbelievable fast. The capacity is that 1 million devices can dial in parallel in a square kilometer. 1 million devices parallel. And reliability is almost 100%, and battery life. This is also very interesting for digital health, I guess, my friends. Battery life is 10 years for IoT devices. Yeah? So it's a really low battery usage.
Yeah.
Kitty, you're laughing. You're laughing as supporting me, or you?
Amazing technology is coming. I think in terms of the concern, with me, because our people, human, rely on this connectivity, rely on a lot of things. So we have to keep in mind that sometimes fundamental or basics still need it, because one day if there's something, this system is not like some disasters and something happens, and we cannot rely on that one. We must have some alternative also. If you have even this one is a very good one, but we have to be aware that some kind of disaster or something happens due to some alternative.
So Supercon, of course, you're promoting the digital economy, yeah? So you're pushing it forward. Do you hear these concerns? Do you also do some, I don't know, explanations to the population, or do you do own? Yeah, I think you have a little digital valley where people can go in and feel and touch technology like 5G.
Yeah, well, actually, we are running a place is a 5G showcase called 5G Ecosystem Innovation Center at a deeper headquarters in Bangkok. So people can come in and try different use cases, be it in education, in logistics, in telemedicine, also also home use, for like AR and VR applications. So we also work with makers who develop hardwares and wanted to test that maybe they have a 5G chipset that they wanted to test with a real 5G connection. Then we also have a facility to do that too.
Do you, by the way, do you look into this global kind of war of philosophies of who is the best 5G provider? Do you look into, there are these big Chinese companies like Huawei and ZTE, and there's this European axis of Ericsson and Nokia, some former US companies who not really deal with 5G anymore, like Cisco and others, but Southeast Asia is kind of positioned of being in between those two planets of 5G technology. Is this a topic you cover at all?
Well, I talked to the operators, and I think they're using mixed systems from also European systems and also Chinese systems. So
Chinese are really at the forefront of 5G technology. Huawei is really a big player in this domain.
Yeah, they are, and I think they have their share of the market. In this region.
Okay, good. Prabhat, maybe there's a question for you, but everybody else can jump in. Can e-visits, virtual visits, whatever, in a patient portal replace personal visits of a doctor?
I think that maybe not, but that maybe can do both. In terms of that telemedicine designed for rural area. Some rural area really difficult to come before they get real sick. They may be monitored first, or maybe some patient, the old people, they can move. So this is the device that can go to the site. And as a telemedicine now, is have to connect with video. So video need bandwidth and latency, low latency. So this why 5G. As we have experienced that, so maybe in Thailand we have Usonet. Usonet, they have NBTC provide a network over Thailand for the rural area. And the main purpose for that is they want to give what they call equal healthcare service to all over Thailand in the rural area. So the people who live in the rural have a chance to see the doctor. Wherever maybe cannot see the real person, but they can talk first. And one thing is, if they can diagnose before they come, better for them that don't have to travel. Otherwise, they have to travel maybe half day from the mountain.
Yeah, sure. I think that's the big promise of telemedicine. Right? And of course, in the end, I think we all still would like to see our doctor sometime physically, depending on what we have. Pongsatorn, there is a question whether 5G also will impact the pharma industry. Of course, you touched it a little bit because, of course, if you look into DNA and genome sequencing, you also go into this biotech and life science area. Is there an impact already in the pharma industry as well?
Yes, and I think the 5G is the major tools for our industry to be thrive in the future. Because if, let's say, if everyone have a monitoring device that be like a medical grade, like in the hospital, in every house, so everyone don't need to go to see the doctor physically. So the doctor can monitor you every time, anytime, and can trace back to the health record from last week. So maybe you don't need to see the doctor, but the doctor wants to see and talk to you.
But and in terms of pharma industry, of course, the pills still have to go there physically, right?
Right.
We don't have a telemedicine for pills. We have some very interesting questions. Kitty, maybe you can jump in there. How is the penetration rate of health home sensors today, and do you have insights if people would adopt the rather integrated solutions in future?
I think so. I don't have the exact number, but I think so in terms of the sensor, I think so. Most the sensor now they use for the wellness, so like a Fitbit, everything, some kind of that kind of one part of the health detections, health preventions. I think that is a starting point. That's a good one, the starting point. But in terms of the care, home care, using on the vital sign monitor at home, it still takes some time because the cost of equipment is still, I think, still high. I think we're thinking about that one also, about how we could bring that cost down, and we can penetrate to all the household, most of the household, and common for the household. That's a key challenging part of we need to face.
Okay, thank you. There's a question, I would say, proper, I think you are our expert there. I don't even have a clue what LPWA is, but is LPWA a good alternative to bridge the time until 5G coverage is built up?
I'm not really familiar.
Okay, is anybody knowing, does anybody know what LPWA is? Okay, if not, can that gentleman, anonymous, please tell us what you mean with LP? Long ping, I don't know. And I'm a former telco guy. Yeah, I worked for T-Mobile a long time ago. So I don't know, any kind of wireless access, maybe, I don't know. So
something to do with low power.
Low power wireless access, maybe. Yeah?
I don't know.
Anyhow, gentlemen, we are almost at the end of our show here. I not even covered my questions to you, which is really a pity. So we have to meet in Bangkok over beers then to drop my questions to you guys. Yeah. This was the very first series of webinars EJ Krause and VNU Asia Pacific thought that we should do before we do the actual inauguration of our show in Bangkok next year. So once again, we're doing the Beyond Mobile on everything which is 5G related on a B2B context. So we don't talk B2C at that conference, we talk B2B. So whether it's digital health like today, whether it's manufacturing, automotive, mobility, you name it, all those sectors we deep dive, and this series of webinars should kind of build the road to Beyond Mobile next March in Bangkok. Bear with us, everybody who was here today. Of course, you are now caught in the system. You will get some news from us. And yeah, this is the road I'm talking of here. And if you would like to tell us your opinion of what we did today, what we did good, what wasn't so good, please scan this QR code you see here and fill in this little survey. It helps us to build up the show, to ramp up the show, because again, it's inauguration. It's the first time we do this. I think it's the perfect moment. All of my speakers, and thanks again to you, Supakorn, to Kitty, to Prapat, and to Pongsatorn, all of my speakers today really said it's the right moment to talk about 5G rollout in this context of digital health, but also beyond, because there are pilots ongoing, the network providers are there, the infrastructure providers are there. It's not just impacting Thailand, it's impacting the whole region, SEA, APEC, and of course the whole globe. I think at the conference itself, we will have speakers from all over the world, but also experts from Thailand. Yeah, I'd like to say thank you to everyone. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope you can still listen, see me and listen to my words. And we are now going into a next webinar in October timeframe. In between, if you are based in Bangkok, please follow us and join us at our Beyond Mondays, which are physical events if COVID-19 allows it, somewhere in a bar in the evening, and we will talk and mingle and network about 5G and its applications. Yeah, thank you very much. Is there anything else I missed? Apple, Heiko, do you want to say the last famous words, or shall we end it here? All good?
Good.
All good. Thank you very much. Speak soon. See you soon on this planet somewhere. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye bye.